Oh no, what the heck is happening to me? Hi, friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Check out some more videos if you can. I have quite a library of bellyache and mental issues. Brain damage sucks. Worse than anyone thinks. Complaining. Alright, I get it. There's a lot of bad stuff going around, so everyone's got a right to complain. I do too. That's forgotten a lot. But I kind of want to let the world know that 3 things that I don't particularly care for happen when there's complaining. Number 1, it spreads. If you notice, it like spreads to other people. You know, they don't want to hear you're complaining if they're in a good mood. Number 2, it doesn't do anything to help a situation. I've noticed, I've been alive for long enough, and I know that complaining doesn't do anything good. It spreads, it makes other people complain. Then my biggest problem is something I get for myself. If I complain, bad things happen to me. I can't complain. I'm just noticing that complaining leads to flare-ups in multiple sclerosis, and if you are complaining, that means something has gotten to you so bad that it's altered your thinking. So why would you want to spread that shit? It's just, I'm one of those people. I'm always witnessing, just from talking to people that I know and love. Complaining puts you in a mindset, and it is not a very pleasant mindset. It makes more bad stuff happen. It doesn't do any good for your situation or the situation of others. So complaining, I didn't like it as a coach, and I still don't like it. Now I know why. There's a mindset that has to happen, and there's a mindset that I have to adapt to myself, where complaining ain't involved in that mindset. The mindset is to get better, heal everything, fix everything. How is that going to happen if someone's busy complaining? I don't know. I just don't see the logic in that. For me, I adapt to the situation as it plays out. For example, a lot of times I can't walk, one step and I'll fall. Sometimes I can't even see. A lot of times I can't talk. So when these things happen to me, or they happen to you, the best I can say is take a minute. There's nothing that makes it go away magically. So take a minute. A lot of times I go to sleep. It sucks. I don't like sleeping it off, and there is sort of like evidence now that sleeping sort of encourages what's wrong with me to get even worse. I have a lot of problems. Having this PPMS, I have a hard time walking. I have a hard time especially seeing and walking. Then I have a really hard time speaking. I actually sound like I'm drunk all the time. And with this comes a couple witching hours. That I call them witching hours. It's a span of a few hours, actually. First one hits me about 11 o'clock a.m. and the next one hits me about like 6, maybe 4, and they go on for a few hours. And that's kind of what I was talking about before. I sleep it off. It ain't an answer, but it's kind of like all I got to do. So when you're faced with those situations, you kind of have a right to complain. But even though I have this like I don't know, life-given right to complain about everything that's happening to me. What good does it do? Is complaining that I can't walk gonna help me walk better? I don't know. I don't get it. I'm one of those weirdos. But when ugly shit happens to you, the first thing you're gonna notice is you feel alone. Nobody's listening, nobody's hearing you. Now that affects your mental stability. And when these things, like for example, for me, I think of this. I got enough to deal with, I got enough to stress out about. So I kind of almost like put a separation, like I make distance between me and things that are not helping me. Very unfortunately, that was a lot of people. After a while, I kind of stopped talking to all of them and got rid of all of them. Now, I kind of can't say, yeah, that made my life better. But what it did was remove the pressure and the stress that was wearing down on me. It's bad enough when you're like this. You don't feel good enough anymore. You can't do the things you used to be able to be good at. So that's a lot that's a lot on your plate. It's gonna take a minute to eat that plate. So anyone that creates a problem, you got to deal with that. Now everybody's different. I'm not saying separate yourself and don't talk to anyone. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just kind of sharing my story. I'm someone that I lost everything I have, literally. Like I lost all of my physical abilities. I just teach, oh my goodness, over 1,000 children in my time. There are numbers that go to like 1,600 kids that I've taught in my time. I really don't care about that. But what I do care is those kids that taught, they gave me about a bunch of stuff. I would get like a rock, or they would draw me a picture or something, and they would give it to me, and I kept all of that stuff. But it's all gone now. I lost literally everything. Out of all my personal items, if it were 100%, I got back like 5%. So it's when something like that happens to you, you freak out. So it's very tough not to freak out. Do your best not to freak out, and surround yourself with loving people. Make sure you're in a good environment. Now with that, you're gonna have a lot of heartbreak, because you gotta say goodbye to a lot of dumbass people and dumbass situations. The world is different now, and we're learning stuff as we go, and there is a lot of resistance to the things that are learned. I know I offer a ton of resistance myself. That's just because I feel lied to. Not lied, but I feel like I'm not getting the full picture, or I'm not getting how people feel. And you gotta tell people how you feel. Thanks for watching my video. Maybe I'll make some more belly aching videos. Maybe there's something that helps. The best I can kind of say at this moment is involve yourself in therapies. Hopefully you have like someone that encourages you every day to exercise and improve your muscles. I don't have those things. So if you do have them, or you could come across them, put a kung fu grip on that shit, use it.